So, welcome to day one of how to stop fighting with your kids and just realizing what really matters, right? So, your job is just to love them no matter what and what goes on. So, if you think about prioritizing everything, like I just heard, heaven's first law is order. So, there are things to do, yes, but if you start with the one thing on top of everything else and you do things in the right order, it's not about cleaning the house. That's important too. But it's in order. The first thing is we got to behave good towards each other, right? Nothing else really matters. We got to learn how to behave ourselves before we think about how our kids behave. So think about the order in which you focus on things. And most of the time, just turn it around because we tend to obsess about how our kids are behaving. Most of the time, it's because we don't want to look bad or our pride is hurt. So just take a moment to try to get honest about that. And I always see the scene like in the supermarket, and the kid is just, throwing a fit. We all get conscious about what is everybody else thinking. It's not enough that we think sometimes we're a failure as a mom. What is everybody else going to think? So in that moment, again, turn it around. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Be present for your kid. Take the fear away. Don't be afraid of the situation. He's crying. It's not that big of a deal. He can be throwing a tantrum, or she, because they want an ice cream. Doesn't matter. I feel it in my back right now. That stress that comes up, that's about you. So that has nothing to do with them. So you don't want to project your fear of judgment over upon them. So there's a distinction. The first order is your job is to love them, right? In the supermarket, your job is to love them, be connected to them. There's also a time to set boundaries. And there is a time to stand strong and firm, but don't do that before you realize your job is to love them and to connect with them. And your job is to not let your fear and insecurity get in the way of that love. And when they throw a tantrum or when something happens, I want you to notice if you're thinking more about what people will think of you or your own judgment of yourself, which is a reflection of what you perceive others to think of you, or you think about the current situation. So if you do that, knowing and really honing in on your job is just to love them. That's like the number one thing. And the number one homework for you is to notice when are you actually caring about your child and completely focus on what's going on. So if they throw a tantrum, it's not like they may not have these needs, but if you can be really present with them and show them you don't care, right? As soon as they sense that you don't care what other people think about what's going on, they'll stop, right? They can feel your resistance and your nerves. They can always feel how you feel. So your homework is to notice when is it really more about you than them, and what is it you're afraid of in other people's judgment, because that's your own insecurity. We don't know if people will judge us or not. Judgment cannot really exist if other people judge us or not. It's all about them anyways. But the things we do pick up is what we're insecure about ourselves. So I won't go into too much detail with that today. I just want to welcome you and just know that your job is to love them no matter what. And if you do that, and I know you do, you're actually off the hook because you do love them, right? So you've done what's most important. So give yourself a break from here on. Your job is to love them. And the only reason we end in situations where we get hectic and stressed out is because of our mindset and our habits and our fears. This has nothing to do with the real reality of things. We just create this stress for ourselves because we switch things around. We don't focus on what really matters. So think about what matters, right? Most of the time, these things don't matter. It doesn't matter. We just give it matter. We give it energy and attention, but it's not what matters. It doesn't even matter if they get to school on time. I'm a big fan of them getting to school on time. But in that moment, that's not what matters. And you will get them to school on time, but you've got to let go of these things where it's about what do they eat, what do they don't eat. Take the pressure off, take that energy off, and just realize what really matters is this present moment right now. Either without your kids is the present moment, how you feel about yourself, your connection to yourself, and the love that you can produce inside of yourself. And when you're with your kids, what really matters is that connection. So everything is just an opportunity for connection and for you to practice this one thing. Your job is just to love them. Your job is just to love them. and they throw things at you as things get hectic, it's all just a test for you to hone in on the fact that your job is just to love them. What anybody else thinks does not matter. You're doing your number one job, so it doesn't matter. And nobody can judge you, only yourself. And since you know that you've done the number one most important thing, and the number one thing at all, which is to love them, you don't have to judge yourself because you know you love them. So there's nothing to judge yourself about, okay? Good luck. Reach out in the group, reach out to me and my team if there's anything we can help you with. And amazing journey. Thanks for signing up for this 5-day challenge. I cannot wait to help you and to see all the connection with your kids that you're able to make and see how many triggers we could just wash away to never let come back again. Take care. Bye-bye.